This is a few pieces of my story in no particular order, kind of scattered all over the place. I have trouble doing linear things with my CRPS. It's kind of made me a little dyslexic, but I wanted to show some pieces of what I've started on to give you guys an idea what you can put in your documentary story of your CRPS. My name is Thayne, and I have CRPS. I developed it about 22 years ago, I think. I'm transferring from my walker to my wheelchair. This is how I get around. This is my wheelchair. It is highly padded from head to toe.
I want to walk so bad that I've invented, probably not invented, but to me it's an invention, a way to walk without weight bearing. I use these up bars to swing with like Tarzan, and then these down bars to keep my hands from getting too stressed. I had the physical therapist measure everything to make sure it was proper. Anyways, it's a good way to keep moving without killing yourself too bad. I try to just do as much as I can every day without having too bad of flares. This is a pull-up bar that I use often. It helps me swing into the bathroom and go from room to room. I have bars in my bedroom, but they're only the lower ones so far. But I hope to have these all around the house wherever I can get to.
My CRPS came back in 2019 when I moved to a cabin with my then boyfriend, soon to be husband. We thought we'd get a cabin that was picturesque and it would be beautiful. And it was, and it is, but it also had a lot of challenges that taught us a lot over time. Neither one of us had ever lived in a place similar to the North Pole. It was cold as hell, where the icicles grow sideways because of the wind, and we survived a year up there. We were way in over our heads. Most people just use that as a summer home. We lived there all year round. It's the day after Christmas, 2019. I'm going to show you how much fun it is to be in a Razor. I'm going to go down to the marina. I was really mobile then, and I used to enjoy flying a drone over the lake. It was called Strawberry Reservoir. We had lots of footage and fun days of flying over and seeing the wildlife and the humans and really enjoying ourselves. That's when I could walk. I haven't walked now for about 3 years without some kind of aid. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be limited to a wheelchair or many days even to a bed. It is very limiting in your mobility. I used the drone for quite a while after that, but with CRPS it becomes quite hard to handle different temperatures, as you all know that have CRPS. So outside ventures become quite few and far between at times. I really miss being able to just jump in the car and go places and do things. I'm truly glad that I had this time at the mountain to record and do these things that I did have time to do. This is what it's like when you're in a flare-up. You have so much pain that you can't concentrate or think of anything else but it, and you try like hell to find ways to get out of pain. I don't ever get totally out of pain, but I do have things that help me quite a bit. One of the things that I do is I try to distract myself with calling family and friends and watching a show that I can get into. Audiobooks I really like. I fall asleep every night to an audiobook. How I do it so that I don't get too interested in the book and make me stay up later is that I go back one chapter so it's kind of boring. I didn't know it, and then by the time it's in the new stuff, sometimes I'm able to fall asleep. With CRPS, you don't get much sleep, as you all know, and it's the only way to really rejuvenate yourself after you've had rough days. I feel for each and every one of you, and I'm so glad that you've joined us in trying to bring this horrific disease to light. The name Complex Regional Pain Syndrome, or RSD, doesn't do it justice. I wish they would change the name to something like massive pain disease or pain destroying disease. I don't know what the name should be, but it definitely, when people hear complex regional pain syndrome, I think they only hear the pain syndrome part and associate it with like a pain that a normal person would have, which is not even close to what we deal with on a daily basis. It's really rough. When my knees get swollen, they're always swollen, but they get white like this kind of when they're cold. When they get hot, they turn bright red. I've been trying to walk, so I have these rails that go to the bathroom. That's an infrared heater that I got on the wall. It heats up pretty quick because, as you know, with CRPS, temperature changes is a really hard thing to do. I've got this thanks to Catherine. I've been looking for a wave therapy machine. It's called a shockwave therapy device. And what you do is you turn it on. Documentary, we need to make people like us and feel for us, and the only way that usually happens is with giving some kind of background or history. So we're going to have some pictures of our youth, of our family, the ones that want to participate, have some background on our lives, our achievements, our goals, our wishes, things that make us happy, things that like hobbies. And so if you can gather some pictures and put them together, then we can incorporate them with you talking. It's called B-roll.
I bet you're jealous of my dress. Hardly any of you have
when you
one
hear
just
people
like
talking, but you see pictures going over. That's what we need, is some filler stuff So gather up some photos. I'll show you a few of mine here, and hopefully you're not as monotone as I am. I am so drugged up all the time. I listen to myself on these videos that I've just started to make, and I feel like I'm a robot. So if you can become animated in any way in your interviews, that would help too. Here's some pictures of me and my family and when I was growing up and military and all that stuff. I'm not above using any sympathy card or whatever, because we need them to feel for us, and so that we can find a cure for this horrific disease. This is as far as I've gotten to, so I'm just gonna let the pictures roll and you'll see the finished product later on. Brene Brown said, "One day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you're going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide." That's what this is all about, us telling our stories to help others get through this hard time and this hard disease of CRPS. Thank you for being part of the documentary.